This is our Pensive Painter app where it kind of draws this nice circle on the screen, and you can see it slowly kind of fades out over time as you move it. So all of this is kind of happening in a relatively little amount of code, and you can see basically we keep drawing a rectangle here that has a 2% opacity. So that keeps it basically layering on a little bit lighter and a little bit lighter, and it lightens that. It takes a long time to really get light, but that creates this kind of nice blending effect. So you can see basically when it starts, we set this active canvas. That's pretty common for a lot of drawing apps. We set the color right at the beginning. So these are our codes for black, and the first three are this is the red value, the green value, and the blue value, and then this is that last value is the opacity value. So we're drawing it at full darkness, and then when we have this on event, so our apps are typically event driven, which means they're always waiting for something to happen. So this happens on the mouse move. So you can see nothing happens until we actually move it, and then that triggers this event in this chunk of code. So we set the fill color here. So again, this is setting it to white, but with a 2% opacity. So it's very, very faint. And so then we set the fill color, draw the rectangle. And then after we kind of basically put that layer on top of all the old circles, we set the fill color back. And again, this sets it to a gray. And basically, this is the hex code or hexadecimal code for that gray value. So we set that fill color to gray, and then we draw our circle. And there's a little bit of randomization. So this is for the circle, this is the radius of the circle. So it's, going to change a little bit somewhere between 20 and 25. That's why it's not a perfect circle every time. And so basically, as I move, it kind of repeats this loop as I'm moving, right? So every time I move once and it checks, it draws the white rectangle, draws the circle. And then as we want to do something like challenge one, try and change the color of the brush, we're doing that here in the brush system. So we can change it to a lot of different ways. It's giving you examples here, like how do you want to write it. It has some built-in names like yellow and red and green. And then we can also set the RGB value as something like this, where this is the red, this is the green, and this is the blue. So if red and green are even there, and we can see, we'll reset and run it. That's a yellow. We can, do something where we want maybe a lot of red and only a little bit of blue. So we'll turn this way down. So a little bit of green, and then we'll add some blue in there to kind of see the color there. So we can change the color pretty quickly there. For looking to figure out the colors, often we can look up online for hex codes for colors, or the Adobe Color Wheel is a nice tool for kind of mixing and matching and trying to find a specific color code for color you're looking for. We can also change the next part, which is to say, okay, we want a click event to clear the screen. So right now this is on move. So if we want to add a new event, we're simply going to create this on event bit here. So this doesn't actually matter the order. Remember, it's not going in order and running this code and then this code. This chunk gets set at the beginning, but then it's an on event thing. So we're creating what's called an event handler that's waiting for something to happen. So the item that is happening is on the canvas when we do something on the canvas. And so this time we're going to say a click, okay? And we can give it the same name. So we'll say event here is fine. And now we can say, okay, what do we want to have? A click? Well, we're going to make sure we set a fill color and then draw a rectangle to erase everything. So this time, when we set the fill color, we want to make sure that we choose something like this, like we did before, where, we saw this before where we're setting white with this 0.2. Now we're changing it from 255 to be completely, you can use a 1 as a decimal, for example, and see what that happens. If we were thinking that's 0.2, well, then 1 should be fully clear, right? And we'll see what happens. And then, so after I set the fill color, then I need to be able to draw a rectangle. So I just want to go and get my rectangle block here. And so So I want to have a rectangle that starts at the beginning. So 0, 0, like we want to go up to here. And it's basically the same chunk of code, right? So it's still a rectangle that goes over the whole screen. So we'll make that match for now. Oops. And the last one at 450. And we'll see what happens when we reset and run that. So I'm moving, and then if I click, it erases the whole thing and lets me start again. And so we can look at a couple of things. We've done those two challenges, but where these things are going on in the design and what some of those numbers mean. So when you look at something like the properties of the canvas, you can see the width and the height are 451 and 320. And this is where we can change them here. The X and Y position is referring to this top X and Y 0, 0. So 0, 0 is up here, and you can see this kind of position down here is where we get to that 320 by 450 dimensions. And that corresponds to here, because when we say the rectangle in App Lab, we're saying the X and Y position of here, and then we're using the same one like the X and Y for the other point down here, and it figures out obviously where the rectangle needs to be, and draws that nice kind of rectangle over the entire screen, which in this case we're using it to erase or get the idea of erasing. But the important thing to remember is, as we look and think about things like animation, we're not erasing, right? So we didn't draw the circle and then to erase the circle, we didn't draw another circle on top of it to erase it, or when we click, we don't try to figure out what all these circles are and just draw on the circles. We just erase the whole thing. And when we look at animation, that's kind of what's going to happen, where we would draw and then erase, move, draw, and erase. And that would give us an effect of, instead of a painting, it would give us an effect of just moving the ball around by itself. And that's just to get a little bit more information about how we're drawing and using some of our code to make this nice effect.